Tonight you're tired, but your mind won't slow down. You open a drawer and find a tiny bottle you bought months ago labeled with a stone name. You don't fully know what it does. You just remember why you bought it. You were stuck. Same patterns. Same mood, same reactions. That moment standing there with a bottle in your hand is the best place to start. Because gemstone essences only make sense when you stop treating them like magic crystals and start treating them like alchemy, a method of correspondence, a bridge between mind, matter, and meaning. In the next few minutes, you'll understand 3 things clearly: what gemstone essences actually are, how they're made in the classical way, and how people use them without turning their life into a ritual circus. And near the end, you'll get a simple way to choose an essence that matches your real problem, not your fantasy self. Let's define it cleanly. A gemstone essence is not a rock you wear. It's not a high vibration slogan. It's a preparation where a gemstone is used to transfer a correspondence pattern color, planetary mapping, psychological function into a usable medium, usually liquid. The point isn't the stone as an object. The point is the pattern the stone represents, and the way that pattern can be repeated in your life with almost no friction. That's why this fits inside Hermetic thinking. Hermetic work starts with one practical claim: inner and outer mirror each other through laws. Your attention, your state, your choices, they create chains. Change the right link, and the chain shifts. Gemstone essences are one practical attempt to work with that idea. So, how are they made? Different schools exist, but the classical approach follows a simple alchemical logic: prepare, transfer, stabilize. First, the stone is cleaned and set in a controlled container. Second, a receptive carrier is prepared off in water, then stabilized for consistency. Third, the transfer happens over time, frequently with light exposure as the messenger. Finally, the essence is preserved and standardized so it's repeatable. Repeatability matters. If it's pure randomness, it's not a method. Now here's the part most people miss. Why use an essence instead of a stone? Because an essence is portable, consistent, and easy to integrate. It turns a correspondence into something you can use daily without making your life weird. And that brings us to usage. In practice, people use gemstone essences in 3 main ways. 1. Drops, simple routine, often done in short cycles rather than forever, because alchemy is about movement and phases. 2. Topical use, mixed into a neutral cream or applied to areas that mean something in correspondence language grounding zones, expression zones, clarity zones. This isn't medical treatment. It's symbolic mapping through the body. 3. Environment and ritual light, not costumes. Just signals. A bath, a room spray, a nightly anchor that marks a shift. Work ends, sleep begins. Focus starts. The essence becomes a consistent cue, and cues reshape behavior. So what should you expect? If you're looking for fireworks, you'll miss the point. Most people notice changes like these: less mental noise, a smoother emotional swing, a clearer yes-no feeling, or the sense that one specific loop is losing its grip. Sometimes it's subtle at first, but subtle doesn't mean weak. In Hermetic work, a small cause can shift a whole chain if it touches the right link. Now let's connect this to the 7-principle map, because it makes selection and usage much clearer. 3 principles do most of the heavy lifting here. Correspondence. You don't pick randomly. You match a lived problem to a symbolic category: color, planet, function. Polarity. Most problems are extremes on a spectrum. You don't fight a state, you slide along the scale. Cause and effect. You treat an essence like a small cause, and you watch what changes downstream. Add rhythm on top, because cycles matter and suddenly essences stop feeling vague. They become structured. Now, how do you choose a gemstone essence fast, without turning it into a personality quiz? A simple filter helps. What is the dominant problem right now? not your whole biography. Right now, overthinking, exhaustion, emotional volatility, stagnation? What direction do you need? More grounding, more clarity, more courage, more softness, more drive? What's your pattern type? Do you spike and crash, or stay flat and stuck? Do you over-control or drift? Those three answers usually point to a correspondence category before you even pick a stone name. Here are 3 concrete examples to make it real. Example 1. Mental fog and compulsive thinking. Your issue isn't lack of information, it's internal noise. In correspondence terms, you're looking for cooling clarity and structure often mapped to deeper blues, indigo, and discipline themes. People choose essences in that family because they want fewer loops, not more stimulation. Example 2. Pressure and low confidence. You can function, but you feel squeezed. Everything feels like a test. That often maps to heart center language. Inner value, steadiness, self-trust, greens, balance. The goal isn't be fearless. The goal is stop shrinking. Example 3. Stagnation and procrastination. You're not broken. You're not moving. That often maps to yellow solar themes. Assessment, decision, forward motion. Not frantic motivation, clean movement. Notice what we did. We didn't say, this stone fixes you. We translated a lived problem into a correspondence category. That's practical alchemy. One more thing that saves people months of confusion. Stacking 10 essences at once usually backfires. If you change everything, you learn nothing. A clean cycle stays simple. One essence, one theme, one observation window. Then only if needed a second essence to balance polarity. And now we return to the opening scene. You holding the bottle. If you use gemstone essences as an escape, they become another distraction. But if you use them as a method, a small, consistent cause tied to a clear intention, they become something rare. An alchemical tool that keeps inner work connected to real life. If this kind of clear Hermetic approach helps you, you can like and subscribe. I'll keep building a library that stays mystical but usable.